Denial.
Denial is when you refuse to accept reality or see things as they really are. People use this defense mechanism by not believing or accepting information that goes against what they want, believe, or expect. One partner denies the signs of cheating, refusing to see proof that their partner is cheating, even though the signs are clear. Projection, which is when people blame others for having bad thoughts, feelings, or intentions. This defense mechanism lets people hide or get rid of bad parts of themselves by projecting them onto other people. Someone who struggles with feelings of not being good enough might blame their partner for not being supportive enough, projecting their own insecurities onto them. Rationalization. Rationalization is the process of coming up with logical reasons or explanations for bad behavior or feelings so they seem more understandable or acceptable. People use this defense mechanism to keep a positive view of themselves and explain away actions that might go against their morals or societal norms. Someone gets over a breakup by telling themselves that their ex-partner wasn't right for them in the first place. This makes the emotional impact of the breakup less noticeable. Regression. When you're stressed or anxious, you may go back to behaviors or ways of coping that were more childlike when you were younger. People use this defense mechanism to temporarily escape the stresses and demands of adulthood by going back to a more familiar and comforting state. In an argument, instead of communicating maturely, one partner acts like a child, pouting or having a tantrum. Displacement. This is the process of moving emotions, usually bad ones, from where they came from to a target that is less dangerous. People can use this defense mechanism to talk about how they feel in a way that someone or something else is less likely to respond negatively or start a fight. When someone is mad at their boss at work, they take it out on their partner over small things when they get home. Sublimation. This is the process of turning unwanted feelings or impulses into actions that are socially acceptable. People with this defense mechanism can turn urges that could be harmful into useful or positive ways to express themselves, which often leads to personal growth or creative expression. A partner who is jealous doesn't show it directly. Instead, they work on getting better, like by setting fitness or personal development goals. Intellectualization. This is when you think too much about the logical and rational parts of a situation and try to avoid or downplay expressing your feelings. This defense mechanism helps people keep their emotions in check and deal with upsetting situations by looking at them from a neutral, objective point of view. Instead of expressing sadness over the loss of a pet, someone focuses solely on researching the medical condition that led to their pet's death. Compensation. This means putting too much emphasis on or developing certain good qualities or skills to make up for what you think are your flaws in other areas. By doing well in areas where they feel lacking or inadequate, this defense mechanism helps people boost their self-esteem and sense of self-worth. A person who feels insecure about their physical appearance spends excessive amounts of time at the gym to build muscle and improve their physique. Reaction. Formation. This is when someone acts or feels differently than they really do in order to protect themselves from thoughts or urges that make them anxious. People use this defense mechanism to hide or deny their real feelings by acting or thinking in ways that are over the top or extreme. When someone is really interested in a friend, they act mean or pretend not to like them in order to hide their true feelings. Suppression. Suppression is the deliberate choice to temporarily disregard or push down undesirable emotions, memories, or thoughts. People use this defense mechanism to put off dealing with their feelings until they feel better prepared to handle the situation. In order to maintain harmony in the relationship, someone who feels hurt by their partner's actions ignores their feelings and avoids talking about them. Avoidance. This means actively avoiding things, people, or thoughts that make you feel anxious, uncomfortable, or distressed. It protects you by limiting your exposure to things you think are dangerous. A person who is afraid of flying will not book any vacations that require air travel and will instead choose locations that are accessible by car. Humor. Having humor means using laughter, jokes, or wit as a way to deal with stress, lower anxiety, or take your mind off of bad feelings or thoughts. Making people feel lighter in tough situations is one example. When feeling embarrassed after tripping in public, someone makes a joke about their clumsiness to lighten the mood. Fantasy. Fantasy is escaping reality through long daydreams, fantasies, or made-up situations. It lets people make their lives seem better or get away from things that are stressful for a short time. Many people fantasize about the perfect relationship they could have if only their partner could read their minds and be there for them no matter what. Intellectualizing. The act of intellectualizing involves talking about personal or emotional issues in a cold, analytical way, focusing on facts and logic instead of getting emotionally involved. It helps people stay in control and objective even when they are feeling bad emotions. Someone avoids dealing with their own emotions by having rational conversations about relationship dynamics rather than being vulnerable or intimate. Selective attention. Choosing your attention means paying attention to only some parts of a situation and ignoring or downplaying others. It lets people sort information in a way that supports what they already think or want. If they want to keep up the appearance of a perfect relationship, they ignore signs of trouble in the relationship, like their partner not talking to them or maintaining emotional distance. Dissociation. Dissociation is a way of dealing with a lot of stress or trauma by mentally separating from your thoughts, feelings, or memories. Feeling disconnected from yourself or your surroundings is what it does. During private moments with their partner, they may feel emotionally distant, as if they are watching from outside their body in order to deal with uncomfortable or traumatic feelings. Identification. Taking on the traits, behaviors, or values of another person or group to boost your own self-esteem or lower your stress. People can align themselves with powerful or admired figures. Someone takes on their partner's hobbies, interests, or beliefs, sometimes to an extreme, in order to feel closer to them. Idealization. This is when you give yourself, other people, or situations too many positive qualities or traits. This makes it possible for people to see themselves or their experiences in a more positive light. When someone looks at their partner through rose-colored glasses, they only see their good qualities and ignore or downplay their flaws. Compromise formation. Finding a middle ground between opposing desires, impulses, or beliefs is what compromise formation is all about. People can meet more than one need or goal this way without having to fully deal with the underlying conflict. Negotiating with their partner to find a balance between their own wants and needs, like figuring out how to spend time together and give each other space. Altruism. Being altruistic means helping or serving others without expecting anything in return, even if it costs you or means depriving yourself. In this way, people can feel good about helping others and doing their part for the greater good. Giving up their own wants or needs to do what their partner wants, sometimes too much to keep the relationship going or get their partner's approval. Undoing. To undo something, you have to say sorry, repent, or make up for it in order to cancel out or erase the feeling of guilt or wrongdoing. People who feel guilty or ashamed can get rid of those feelings by trying to undo things they did in the past. Think about a person who feels bad about hurting a friend or family member. They do acts of kindness, say sorry, or try to make things right with the other person to get over their guilt and fix the relationship. They are trying to fix the damage their actions caused. Suppression. Being repressed means blocking or suppressing thoughts, feelings, or memories that are too painful, traumatic, or unacceptable to acknowledge consciously. It prevents these repressed feelings from coming to the surface. As a way to avoid feeling the painful emotions that come with remembering past relationship traumas or betrayals, people bury them deep in their subconscious. Spiritualization. This is the process of seeing or understanding feelings, experiences, or problems in spiritual or metaphysical terms. Belief in spiritual principles, higher powers, or cosmic forces can help people find meaning, purpose, or comfort. Spirituality can help someone deal with their grief after a loved one dies if they believe that the person's spirit lives on in another world and will meet them again in the afterlife.